because they have been on my mind lately. Largely because Moana just came out and it was so awesome, and her immense success all but guarantees she will be the next princess, but also because we just got to spend Christmas with our adorable little cousins, Molly and Hadley, and Ben and I gave them a complete set of every Disney princess, minus Anna and Elsa. Don't worry, they already have them. I checked with our Aunt Jess. But there was another potential princess missing from that collection, and it is none other than Vanellope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph. So today, we're going to discuss, should Vanellope be a Disney princess? If you are a longtime viewer of this channel, you are probably familiar with the rules of becoming a Disney princess, but if not, allow me to give you a quick refresher. So, contrary to popular belief, just being a princess in a Disney movie is not enough to make you an official Disney princess, and there are plenty of characters who have been princesses but have fallen short of the title. Full video of that by clicking on the card. In order to become a Disney princess, there are several requirements you must meet. First, you have to meet all three of the following criteria. First, you must be human, or at least half human, Ariel. Second, you must have a primary role in an animated Disney film. And third, you can't have been introduced in a sequel. The prime example of this is Ariel's daughter, who is the star of The Little Mermaid 2, but because she was introduced in a sequel, she can't be a Disney princess. Then, if you meet all three of those criteria, you have to meet one of the following. Either first, be born royal, second, marry royal, or three, commit an act of heroism, which, as I'm saying, it makes it sound like a crime. Perform an act of heroism? Does that sound better? And that third one is a little bit tricky to define because it basically exists so that Mulan can be a Disney princess. Her act of heroism being, saving the entire country of China. God, Mulan is awesome. And then, even if you meet all of those criteria, there's still like the secret hidden rule of having box office success, which has screwed a few characters in the past, like Kida from The Lost City of Atlantis. But don't worry, I assure you box office success will not be a problem for Vanellope. Wreck-It Ralph did 471 million worldwide at the box office. If you want to compare that to the rest of the Disney Renaissance, it would come in third, only behind The Lion King and Aladdin. Plus, and this is pretty cool, Wreck-It Ralph 2 comes out in theaters in 2018, which might not sound like a big deal, yeah, duh, successful movie, of course they're gonna make a sequel, but it is a big deal, and here's why. Wreck-It Ralph 2 will be the first non-Pixar animated Disney sequel to get a theatrical release since The Rescuers Down Under in 1990. I mean, it is 27 years since that has happened, and 28 by the time the movie comes out. And the key word there was theatrical, because Disney is certainly no stranger to sequels. They have them for almost everything, but they almost always come out on direct-to-DVD video kind of thing, and they're not normally very good. Wreck-It Ralph 2 won't just be the first in 28 years, it'll also be just the second ever, as long as, again, you don't count Pixar, because otherwise Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and Cars sequels beat it to it. The point is, Disney is really proud of Wreck-It Ralph, so the box office isn't holding Vanellope back. But the question is anything else? Well, let's run down the list. First, is she human? This is harder to answer than you might think. I mean, yes, her character is human, but she's not a real person. She's a video game character. And you might say, well, we should only judge her on the context of the world she's in, aka Sugar Rush. But the problem is that Sugar Rush exists in the arcade where we see actual children. So in a digitally animated movie, she is then a digital character within that world. But even so, I'm gonna go ahead and give her the pass and say, yes, she is human. So, number 2. Does she have a primary role in an animated Disney movie? Yes, Vanellope is clearly the lead female character in the movie, but I will point out that she's not the title character, and that Wreck-It Ralph is a movie more targeted toward boys. Now, obviously that shouldn't really be an issue, but it has kept other characters off the list before, like Meg in Hercules, another boys movie. But it's also definitely not a deal breaker. Aladdin was a movie more targeted at boys, but Jasmine is definitely a Disney princess. So number 3, was she introduced in a sequel? No. sequel hasn't been made yet. And that leads us to the second set of criteria, and remember, she only has to qualify for one of these. First, was she born royal? This question kind of falls into the same trap that the human thing does. Like, since she was just programmed into existence, was she really born? I mean, we never meet her parents, but she does have the title of princess, so should that count? I'm gonna give it a solid maybe. Honestly, it's kind of like Calhoun's backstory in the movie. Like, she was programmed with these memories and they do affect her in the present, but she, the character, never actually experienced them. So yeah, solid maybe. But don't worry, there are other criteria she can meet. Like, number 2, did she marry royal? No. Okay, next. Does she perform a significant act of heroism? Yes! Vanellope's big act of heroism in Wreck-It Ralph is when she races back to Diet Cola Mountain and catches Ralph just before he plummets into the diet lava below. But is it enough? Again, this criteria basically exists for Mulan, who again saved her entire country. Vanellope, by contrast, really only saves Ralph, whose own actions at that point have basically already saved everyone else and the arcade. Even if you want to give them shared credit for this, like because Vanellope helped Ralph become a good guy, then at the end of the day, still, all they've really saved is the arcade. I mean, yes, there's a bunch of virtual characters who live in there, but is that really comparable to an entire country? If you don't want to give them shared credit for it, then at the very least, I guess you could argue that Vanellope does save the game Fix-It Felix and all of the Nicelanders, because otherwise Ralph would have died and permanently been removed from the game, so it would have been shut down. That being said, it is a Disney movie though, so saving a single person because of the power of friendship is still a pretty good message, and it could be enough. Yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of sort of ifs and buts on this list. Like, is she a human? Was she born royal? Did she commit a big enough act of heroism? But let's say we give her the benefit of the doubt on every single one of those. Yes, she's a human. Yes, she was born royal. Yes, huge act of heroism. Totally counts. Should she be a princess? Is she being snubbed? No, she's not a princess. Because
the code may say I'm a princess, but I know who I really am, Ralph. I'm a racer with the greatest superpower ever. I'm thinking more along the lines of a constitutional democracy. President Vanellope von Schweetz.
She's a president, not a princess. Although I have to say, I would like to see an entire line of Disney presidents.
Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Also, I feel like I should point out that even though she says she wants a constitutional democracy, her very first act is to appoint herself president. Like, not get elected or anything, whatever. But there you go. Then my question for you and everyone else is, what do you think? Should Vanellope be a princess? Let me know your thoughts in the towel section down below.
These socks are amazing!
And a special thanks to these patrons who support Super Carlin Brothers on Patreon. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, please like this video if you haven't already and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos about Disney princesses. If you want to see whether or not Princess Leia should be a Disney princess, you can check out this